Morning, guys. It's Armando Gong here with another one of my 10-minute walk videos. My wife asked me this morning why I chose to walk with her to the train station. We live about 15 minutes from the Long Island Railroad in New York City. And I also happened to be off this week, so I could have just slept in. And there are a couple of reasons why I wanted to do this. Number one was we get to spend a little more time with my wife. It's about 15 minutes that instead of just sleeping in, I could just have a nice casual stroll with her while she was on her way to work. Number two is that I actually said I would do this with her, and I did this with her yesterday, even though it was snowing a lot, and it still made it for a fun time, and I was keeping my word to myself. And I think a lot of people don't realize how often they don't keep the word to themselves. So it was nice to see that I was keeping my own promises. And number three, which is the main reason why I started doing these walks a lot more often, was that I realized that I don't move as much as I want to throughout the day. I was actually doing some research on another side project of mine, where my goal is to try and increase everybody's physical activity levels. Because doing my numbers and finding out some numbers about the physical activity in general overall in the world, I didn't realize that there was a study out which calculated of the 57 million deaths in 2015, how much of it was caused by physical activity. And they actually put that number at 5.3 million. Roughly 9% of all deaths were caused by physical inactivity. That might not seem like a lot of people, or it might seem like a lot of people, but it's actually comparable to smoking, which was calculated at 5 million people. Obesity was roughly 4 million people, from what I understand. Now, the 5.3 million people is conservative because it didn't take into account obesity, people dying from high blood pressure, diabetes, etc. I need to read into more of this study just to verify that these numbers are accurate. But that was very surprising to me, because saying that 5.3 million people died is a very conservative number. And if what we had to do to prevent this from happening was just to walk an extra 10 minutes, extra 15 minutes a day, for me, I'd be more than willing to do it. Like, I'm casually walking, slightly out of breath just because this hill is pretty high. It's a pretty big hill while I'm walking home. But this time that I'm spent walking, I would have just been at home sleeping and just not helping my cause at all. So I like these walks. I recommend that everyone just takes some time out of their day to do it. Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can spare, even a minute. Walk up the stairs, just move around, and don't rely on like the elevator or the bus, any other modes of transportation to help you along. So with that, I will be signing off. All right, talk to you then. Bye.